The next young man is Jordan Giampa, coached by Jeff Cormier from Auburn High School. Auburn High School senior Jordan Giampa, 6'2", 310 pounds, and part of one of the most dominant offensive lines ever compete in Central Mass. He's strong, physical, explosive, and quick. Giampa, however, is not indestructible, as he found out during his freshman year when his football career nearly ended before it began. I played one game my freshman year against Northridge, and that was it, said Giampa, a center who helped the top-ranked Rockets to a 5-0 start. Giampa began to experience excruciating pain originating in his back and eventually induced side effects so that he described as scary, including numbness in his feet. Giampa and his parents took what amounted to a grand tour of area medical facilities and tried treatment after treatment, but to no avail. Doctor specialists couldn't agree on the diagnosis and devise an effective treatment plan. There was some consensus among the experts in sports in general, and football in particular, were out of the question. I remember specifically driving home in the car with my dad after one of the appointments in 9th grade and hearing I couldn't play football. I was just asking, what am I going to do now? Giampa said. The question was always tough for Giampa's dad to answer. Not only was Dana Giampa, a concerned father, worried about the long-term health of his son, he was and still is the Auburn offensive line coach. It was a tough time, Dana Giampa said. Football was the last thing in my mind. You just want your child to be pain-free, be able to be a normal childhood. But for Jordan, not having football was devastating. He just loved the game. Jordan was so enamored with football, he had accepted the fact that he wouldn't join his friends on the field chasing Super Bowl titles. He would be involved in any way possible. I wanted so bad to be part of the team. I figured I could just hang out and practice in games and wear the jersey. Never dress, he said. It's something I was willing to do, even if physically I wasn't going to be involved. When his sophomore year rolled around, Giampa was part of the team but not playing. Assistant coach Ben June stepped in and suggested Giampa make a few calls to Mass General Hospital. They met with Dr. Lawrence Borges, director of the hospital's neurosurgical spine center, who identified Giampa's ailment as a ruptured disc that caused pain and numbness. Borges recommended surgery. Giampa was operated on the day before Thanksgiving 2 years ago. As a parent, I felt a sense of relief that this whole situation would be coming to an end. Dana Giampa said, it was a tough couple of years. Jordan was in so much pain, he had to sleep sitting up in a chair for the better part of 2 years. It was hard to watch a kid as big and strong as Jordan in much pain. The surgery was a success, and Jordan Giampa eventually was cleared to play football, which he did last season, helping the Rockets finish 12-1 and win the Central Mass Division III Super Bowl. Jordan, come on up.
One of the single most important things that happened to me was also one of the worst. The summer going into my freshman year of high school, my father and I were involved in a car accident. Directly following the accident, I felt fine with no obvious pains or aches. About 1 month later, my foot began to feel numb, and I started to have severe cramping down my leg. This is not a pleasant thing to happen, as you can imagine, but it didn't stop there. It is thought that the car accident caused a disc in my spine to collapse, making my vertebrae hammer down on one another, causing a nerve to be crushed in the process. So along with a numb foot and severe cramping, I could also not lie down flat on my back for 2 years, which is awesome. This all occurred while I was going to a new school, as I switched from Millbury to Auburn before my freshman year. So on top of trying to make new friends and trying to play my favorite sport, football, which I realized had become impossible, I had to deal with pain, a numb foot, and not being able to sleep in my bed. So that was pretty cool. People saw the new kid walking around with a strange limp, and needless to say, I was not what you would call exceptionally popular. All this may seem horrible, and it was, but it taught me so much more than most 18-year-olds know. By being forced to sit out the first 2 years of my life at Auburn High School, I learned how much a simple conversation can mean to a lonely kid on the sidelines. I learned how important it is to stay dedicated no matter how hard things get. I learned that life is sometimes not fair, and it gives you two options. You can either quit or you can fight back. I tried to fight back. My parents and I traveled to more doctors than I can count, all of them having no idea what was wrong with me until I found one in Boston, a doctor by the name of Lawrence Portis, who worked at Massachusetts General Hospital and finally performed a dangerous surgery on a kid to give him the chance to run again with his friends. The surgery was a success, and within a year, and a lot of physical therapy, I was on the field again. Though the doctors warned of the dangers of playing football, I'd waited way too long not to play. I know how it feels to be taken out of your life, to be forced to sit while time rushes past you. I learned that you cannot wait. Do not procrastinate. If you want something, you have to work for it. My grades immediately went up, and as soon as the pain was gone and I could sleep in my own bed again, I devoted myself to studying, to working out, and to making friends. I was taking my life back. My hard work in both academics and football paid off my senior year. I'd always dreamed of going to schools like Harvard, Yale, Brown, and Amherst, and because of my talents on the field and off the field, I was a top recruit at all of these schools. After visiting many Ivy League schools and NESCAC schools, I made my decision and applied. Early decision to Amherst College. I was accepted there and will be attending Amherst in the fall. I would like to thank my parents, my coaches, and my friends who stood by me through this tough time and helped me when I was low. Coach Cormier and his staff were constantly there for me and made me feel like I was a part of the team, even when I was just standing there. My parents, well, you guys have done more for me than I can put into this speech, so I'm just grateful and I want you guys to know that. Thank you, everybody, and once again, thank you for this award.